What's up, guys? This is Jamie Thurber. Welcome to my first of the 25 days of Vlogmas video. So I have done dabbling with vlogging. I have done some videos that my team has created. I've done all kinds of different random things. But I'm really excited to commit to doing 25 raw record and post type videos for you guys here over the next 25 days. So it should be pretty exciting. I appreciate those of you who tune in and let me know, obviously, your thoughts and what you see and what you think and all that good jazz. So let's get started. I think the first thing that I was thinking about was actually doing my monthly reflection since, today is the first day of December, and I was looking back at the last 30 days. And one of the things that, I actually use this specific planner, and it asks questions, and one of the things was, what was the most memorable part of your last month? Describe it. And I looked back over the last month, and there were actually a lot of really cool things that went down over the last 30 days, but one of the things that stuck out for me was that I had hit a really long time body goal. So I'm a hard gainer, and I have a hard time gaining weight, and I had actually gotten up 10 pounds, and it took me 2 years of diligently training and eating a proper way and all that stuff to do this in a healthy fashion and gain that weight in muscle versus fat. And it's just a really long story that I could get into about all the health issues that I have that fight against that. But what was really cool was being able to look at that scale and realize the number really was irrelevant, but the fact that I was able to create it by myself was really awesome. So knowing that that's something that nobody could hand to me, something that was created basically by sticking to the plan. And so the reason I wanted to bring that up and I thought it was so important is because that goes along, and you can take that same scenario and put it in any area of your life. And that's what I think a lot of people tend to not realize. And fitness is just an easy one to use as an example because you can actually typically see the results, right? When you're working on mindset or business building or brand building and those types of things, you can't always tangibly see the results. You can't always see exactly what you're accomplishing in that moment because it takes a while to create it, right? It takes a while for it to come to fruition. So it's pretty incredibly empowering and inspiring to kind of watch myself create that. And I think the biggest thing for me was, and it was a big realization, is that we have to trust the process. Not only do you have to, sorry, my dog is obnoxious. Not only do you have to put in the work, but you have to trust the process. Doing and sticking to the plan every single day and the discipline side of things is an absolute must. But I think a lot of the reason that works is because you can trust the process. You can actually look at it and say, okay, I don't know that this is going to work, but I'm going to work it every day until I can create the result that I want and be able to work it and tweak it and do the things over and over again. How was I supposed to know that the things that my trainer and my nutritionist were telling me to do were actually going to work? I wouldn't know unless I did it, right? Unless I actually followed it every single day and figured out what worked and what didn't and actually stuck to the plan. So not only is it an action of drive and actually doing the work even when you don't feel like it, but it's also a matter of trusting the process. And trusting is hard for everyone, I think. It's really difficult to believe in something that you've not done before or you've not created or that there's not a tangible ROI for. That's a pretty big part of the whole scenario, is recognizing that there isn't a tangible ROI to most of the things that we do in life. Most people will put so much time and effort into business and marketing, and because usually there is a tangible ROI on that sort of stuff, you can give yourself benchmarks and guidelines and be able to actually measure your return on investment. But when it comes to relationships and mindset and working on your body and those types of things, the ROI is very different. You have to pay attention. What do you feel? What do you think? What do you see happening? What are you observing changing in your life, right? It's just a totally different dynamic. So I think something, it came to mind, the whole part of trusting the process is so big, and just something I wanted to just kind of note here and let you guys know, is a thing. And I think that's a big part of it. Yes, you need to do the work, and and the determination comes into play too, but basically trusting that process is a really, really key dynamic to how and why and if things work, right? So let me show you this whiny bastard next to me, so you guys can meet my animals, for those of you who are just now meeting me and don't follow me on other social channels. So this is Mac, and this is the big dog bed, because Mac recently had surgery. Mac, will you look at the camera? Look at the camera. So this is Mac. He's 3, and he's a pit bull, and he had to have his knee operated on, and so he's in rehab, and he's whiny and obnoxious and drives me insane. And then this is Bonnie, and she's a Boston Terrier, and she's just really, really small for Boston. But she's 8 years old and is a princess and is the coolest, easiest dog alive. So much fun and so calm and amazing. But these are my children, so welcome to that part of my life. But I figured he obviously wasn't shutting up the whole time, so I figured I'd show him to you guys. So if you have any questions or you have any thoughts on this, I'd love to hear them. I appreciate you guys watching. I look forward to doing these videos, and I'm really not going to do any sort of like specific crazy theme or anything like that. I'm just going to talk about what comes to mind that day or what happened that day or whatever it is that like I feel called to talk about. So, you know, if there's anything specific that you guys want to know or questions you have or anything like that, put them in the comments below and I'd be happy to address them. And I look forward to the next 25 days. So have an amazing day, guys, and I'll talk to you soon.